Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of Strategy Sunday. Future Money. So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Swift XRP, the rumors that XRP may be partnering with Swift in secret. We're going to talk about where Bitcoin's at right now. Could crypto be in a bear market? We got a couple of stocks in energy and AI that could do well. And we're also going to talk about Nvidia's drawdown and what's happening right now with Nvidia. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Also like the video. I'd really appreciate that. Also, please drop a comment, text, and we also have the super chat. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get started. So cryptocurrency, where's that box at? There it is down there, but it's not connected. So switch to I want to switch to what you call like this Bitcoin chart. Let me see if it's updated. Yeah, so there we go. So Bitcoin chart. So what's happening right now is Bitcoin is in a slight drawdown. Bitcoin is testing double resistance at the same time. Look at the yellow and blue lines. The yellow trend line has been resistance the whole way. Blue line is support. If Bitcoin breaks below that zone, it will be a huge for the crypto market, but hopefully we won't get down to 75,000. Right now, I believe Bitcoin is at where we're at 84.6, so it's coming up a little bit from where it was this morning. There are rumors out there that saying Bitcoin could possibly, and crypto market, be in a bear market, a short-term bear market that we won't come out of it until Q3. So we're going to talk about that. First one of the day, just giving back. I appreciate you, Connor. Thank you for the super chat. So the cryptocurrency market is in decline. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP have experienced price drops, with Bitcoin down 2.7, XRP down 5% roughly, likely due to profit taken after some of the recent gains. Slots MC, I appreciate the super chat. Thanks for calling me a legend. So there is some correlation with the global market. These declines do mirror the global stock markets, the major indexes all over the world, including Japan, China, and also in Europe. It's a broader market turn down. A lot of the currencies, another thing that's affecting the price of Bitcoin is that sometimes these things could be a slight illusion. And what's also happening is that, remember when we on this channel talk about Bitcoin's price, we're talking about it in US dollars. So if the US dollars start to become weaker against other global currencies, sometimes the price will appear to be going down when in fact it's actually roughly the same. It's a lot of people moving into other currencies. The yen is getting stronger. The Chinese currency is getting stronger. The European currencies are getting stronger against the US dollar. So it appears that crypto is taking a drawdown, but really, in fact, it's just that the dollar is not as strong as it should be against other currencies. Another thing is that people are moving out of Bitcoin into more traditional assets. Now, and stock market is also taking a hit because Trump's tariffs have, to be honest, caused havoc in the global market. Now, a lot of people say this about, now you got to remember, I try to be as honest as I can with you guys. And I try to look at things as unbiased as I possibly can. And I believe that that's a key to success, is stay out of politics, look at it unbiased, and try to figure out what's actually happening behind what appears to be happening, because there's always a second story behind the curtains. So when Trump first started these tariffs, I said, well, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he has a plan. And a lot of times I will say, it's kind of starting to look crazy. It's starting to look like it's ego-driven. I don't know what it is. And I got friends around me that are both, and another thing about it is that I have friends that are Republicans. I have friends that are Democrats. And I have friends, everybody I have in my life hopefully can at least not take offense to the other side. So if I call one of my Democratic friends and I talk about something that may be a Republican policy, they don't get angry and hang the phone up. Also on the other side, if I call my Republican friends, I can hear from both sides to see what both people think and try to put together a thesis on what I think is going to happen next. That's what you need in your life. Don't run around your entire life in a bubble of people who agree with you. That's how you start to not see the world as it truly is, and you also have a false sense of the world because you think everybody around me likes this or does this, so that's how the world is. That's not true. The world is a hodgepodge of different, diverse people. And that's what you have to try to recreate in your friend group or people that are around you. So At first, I thought Trump was doing good, but now it seems like it's havoc, right? And some of my Republican friend called him up. He says, "You don't understand. Trump has a plan." And I say, well, I mean, what does that mean? Well, he has a plan. You don't understand the plan. He's going to do this in order to do this. And the thing about having a plan is sometimes plans don't work. I mean, everybody that goes into the Super Bowl has a plan, but it don't work all the time. Just because a person has a plan doesn't mean it's going to work. I'm not saying it will or it won't, but you still got to account for that risk of it not working. So thanks for the super chat, Mike. I appreciate that. Let me see. I got another one up here. Yeah, so I really appreciate that super chat. But hey, that's the thing about, like, all plans don't work. His plan could be a great plan. It could actually be a great plan. That doesn't mean it's going to work, so you have to account for that risk. But let's get back to the original point, is that what he's done has caused havoc in the bond market. It is some lag on the screen, so I think the bit rate is too high. It looks like it's here it's lag, but I don't know if it's on your side. Huh? It's good on your phone? Okay, maybe it's just here. So sorry, trying to get my the video correct. But back to what I was saying is that the bond market is in havoc. So now you can actually, the bond rate right now is 4.48%, which is an incredible bond yield. And remember, U.S. bonds are almost the most guaranteed asset on earth. So you can put your money into a bond, wait a year, and get almost 5% back. I mean, that's a very attractive offer when Bitcoin's barely moving, at least temporarily. So a lot of people are moving money out of crypto and more risky assets and put it into these bonds, which are at very high rates for the time. Now, investors will often move to bonds during market volatility because bonds, like we said before, are perceived as safer investments. They offer predictable income and a lot lower risk than anything else on earth, even real estate, stocks, crypto, whatever. Bonds are the safest things. You're getting 5% on bonds, why not take it? As of April 11th, the yield on a 10-year U.S. bond is 4.48%. Highest level in a long time. So a lot of people are seeing that as an attractive difference than they could be making in crypto and whatever. So they pour the money out, wait till this crypto stuff gets over with, wait till the tariff stuff gets over with, then put the money back in. So that's also causing the drawdowns in stocks and crypto. Now, Coin, I think Coin Market Cap, I forgot the name of the site, but it was one of the bigger crypto sites. They put out a report and said that they believe, Coinbase. Coinbase reported a bearish crypto market, that we're in a bearish crypto market, with altcoin market cap down 41% since December due to reduced venture funding and macroeconomic uncertainty, which includes Trump's tariffs and all the things he's doing around the world. Now, the crazy thing is that we really shouldn't be in a bear market right now. This bear market in crypto is caused by the erratic nature of the U.S. policy and, in regards really to tariffs. So I like situations like this because it's the same thing with XRP. XRP was on a lawsuit. Once that lawsuit started to get unresolved, it went up 400%. Opportunities like this are great because this is a temporary barrier to success. So there's a temporary cap or a top on this asset, right? So once the top's off, it explodes out. That's what's happening right now, is that this is a perfect time to accumulate because we know that this is not going to last forever. Now, Coinbase said they think that around Q3, we're going to start seeing Bitcoin go back into a bull market. That's really what I said end of summer, early fall, we'd start to see it. That's what I said for the last few months. So that really correlates to what I thought all along. So we got another super chat. What ledger would you recommend to move your crypto off the exchanges? I like Arculus and I also like Trezor. So despite all the bearish sentiment and structural pressures, Coinbase does expect an explosive crypto market rebound starting in the third quarter of 2025. But the crazy thing is Bitcoin is starting to become, remember we always talk about how Bitcoin is the driver for the market? And that's really why I talk about Bitcoin as much. I talk about Bitcoin a lot is because I believe that Bitcoin is a driver of the market right now. But Coinbase also said that Bitcoin is starting to become less of a reliable predictor of the crypto market or indicator. And decentralized finance and AI sectors are going to start to have their own unique market dynamics. And that's a sign of a maturing market, is that we're going to start to see right now in the crypto market, if Bitcoin's down, everything's down. Bitcoin is 60-something% of the overall market cap of all crypto. Bitcoin dominance is ridiculous, really. But over time, that's going to be less and less. And each sector will have its own market dynamics, which means that we're getting into a maturing market, which investors are starting to see the opportunity in different sectors, as opposed to if Bitcoin's down, it's all down. If Bitcoin's up, it's all up. Traditionally, over the last 12, 13, 14 years, the entire market has been driven by the Bitcoin halving. And like I said before, and I always said it, I said it 2 years ago, 2013, on Strategy Sunday, I said 24, 25 would be the last chance you ever have in your life to make as much money as we're making right now. It's been a bearish 3 or 4 months, but before that, we made incredible money. Palantir, Nvidia, OKLO. I can name them. I can name 6, 7 stocks. XRP, Bitcoin. We made a lot of money over the last. A lot of people that are in the chat right now have quit work, retired, especially in the CNC. CNC, we have so many people who've made so much money. So many people are retired in their 40s. So many people who've bought houses. So many people who started business, all based on proceeds of what we talk about in the CNC. The CNC is a trading group. It's also an education group. It's also a live event group. We do a lot of great things. People connect. People even date in there. So if you want to join the CNC, please go to jointhecnc.com, or somebody put it in the chat for me, please. Could you put jointhecnc.com in the chat? And you can just sign up today. You have to account, somebody said you have to account for the plan not being geared towards day traders. We're playing chicken with China. Who's going to fold first? Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's the plan. But all plans don't work out. So you have to account for that risk. So Mike, I appreciate the super chat, Mike Goward. So the biggest thing I want to talk about today is that there's a lot of rumors right now that XRP and SWIFT are working together. Now, there's people out there that saying that there's evidence that SWIFT is secretly testing integration of Ripple's XRP ledger with the SWIFT system, which is what we thought was going to happen anyway. A lot of analysts there's reports starting to come up from the SWIFT network, a lot of DLT reports that are saying that XRP and SWIFT are somehow working together. There's a lot of evidence and a lot of signs that this is happening under the surface. And the timing is strategic because we're on the cusp right now of an XRP ETF. Now, if you guys remember, on a poly market a few months ago, it was a 30-40% chance that there was going to be a XRP ETF. Now it's up to 75% before the end of 2025. Now Ripple is expanding its traditional financial presence. We all know I've been talking about it for 2-3 days. Is that they just bought Hidden Road, which processes about they paid $1.25 billion for it. Processes about $3 trillion in assets and currency. And they're going to move that onto the XRP ledger. And they're also going to convert the currencies that Hidden Road uses over to RLUSD. Now, this is a built-in demand for XRP. So all of these things are very strategic that's happening right now. The SEC is moving to dismiss the lawsuit officially against Ripple. That's going to signal a major legal win for the company. These things are starting to happen. And a lot of people, I put up a video on YouTube yesterday. Half the comments were negative. Half the people said, why do you keep pumping up XRP? I don't understand it. Somebody else says, you're paid to promote XRP. All of you YouTubers that talk about XRP are paid to do so. So the thing about it is that I wonder why people go on that path. And I think that people a lot of times put themselves in your shoes and say, what I would do in that situation, I would take all the money. And they would take all the money. Now, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take all the money. That's crazy. I only talk about what I believe in. Now, if I have a strong conviction in something, I'm going to keep talking about it. Like some of these people out here, and I'm not, and you know I'm not like that. I try not to be, is they jump on whatever's hot. Whatever the hottest coin is right now, they're going to talk about it. And they probably, if it's going up, they're going to talk good about it. If it's going down, they're going to talk negative about it. A lot of these people, I don't do that. So I have a conviction of XRP. So I'm going to keep talking about it up, down, left, right. I don't care. I'm going to keep talking about what I think is going to happen. And that doesn't mean somebody's paid. You think Brad Garlinghouse is sending me checks? I mean, to be honest, I would take them. I'm already talking about it. He said, hey, man, keep talking about XRP. I'm going to send you $10,000 a month. I would take that money and I would tell you I took it. But I don't take money from stuff I don't believe in. That would be stupid not to take that. Brad Garlinghouse, if you're listening, send me $10,000 a month. I'll keep talking about XRP. But I'm already doing it anyway. So of course I would. But half the comments were, why do you keep talking about this? It's a dead coin. And this is one of the things, the anchor boss we talked about on the last episode, is that people only see what's happening now. Now, XRP, since November, is up 300% in 4 months, 5 months now, roughly 5.5 months. 300%. And people are saying it's dead because there's no movement. Now, this is the thing about humans, is that if you're in a car and the car is driving down the road, do you know humans can only feel acceleration? They can't feel speed. We're on planet Earth right now. Planet Earth, I believe, is going like 20,000 miles an hour or something, like 20,000 miles a minute. I don't know it's a ridiculous speed, whatever it is. You don't feel that speed because humans can only feel acceleration. You can't feel speed. So if I can put you in a Porsche and I go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, you feel that. But once it gets to 60 and goes 60 for a little bit, you don't feel that no more. And that's another bias that we have, is that we will only feel acceleration. When everything starts slowing down, we don't feel it. So I guess this car is not fast. It's not, then it speeds up again and you realize, this car is fast. So don't let lack of movement make you believe that something does not have the potential to go even faster. Because things slow down, they retract, they have to type cool off to them. There's bear markets, there's macroeconomic factors. And sometimes these things that are powerful, like that Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferrari, will slow down sometime, but the potential is still there. So don't let lack of acceleration make you feel like that there's lack of speed. Because that will cause you to make crazy decisions, sell everything, move on to something else. You'll find yourself searching for acceleration all the time. What coin is going up now? I got to jump it. Oh man, I missed out. And that's the number one way people lose money in crypto and stocks. They search for acceleration all the time. They're in a car, they're in a Lamborghini that's fast, but they go that Honda over there. The Lamborghini is parked. So let me jump in this Honda right here. And let me see if this Honda can take me to where. Then you look over the Honda. Then you jump into the Honda because it looks like it's moving a little bit faster. And then you watch that Ferrari take off. Oh man, I missed it. Let me try to jump in this Ferrari. And the Ferrari slows down. Oh man, let me get in this Subaru over here. You jump in the Subaru, and that you see you'll be bouncing around forever. And people do that all the time. The reviews for the CNC need to be responded to. What is that? The reviews for the CNC? I don't know what you mean by that. What reviews? Somebody says, if you want, I've been here for 6 months, the reviews for the CNC? What are the reviews? I don't know what you're talking about. The reviews are high. Well, let me see something. What are you talking about? There's 142 ratings and all of them are 85%. That's crazy. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. But there's 3 reviews that are bad. The other 142 are good. I don't know what you're talking about. There's a few bad reviews. Yeah, of course they're going to be 100. You get thousands of people join some. Of course it's going to be bad reviews. That's crazy. There's roughly 2,000 people in the CNC right now. 2,000. Now, why? There's going to be somebody that comes in there and don't like it. I mean, that's just how things are. There's 3 bad reviews out of the 142 on the thing. And all I got to do is, if you're in the CNC right now and you like it, please go in there and drop a review. Now, don't drop a fake review, but drop a lot of the people who like things don't drop reviews. The people that hate, the people that are mad or angry about something, don't understand something, they're more likely to go drop a review. So if you're in the CNC, please go on there and drop a review. is in Gumroad. Please go there and drop a review. I'd really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. To counteract these bad reviews, because good people that like stuff rarely ever go and drop a review. So I'd really appreciate that. So let's move on. So I want to talk about we'll talk about the Solana ETF that's going to be approved in Canada. Because a lot of things that happen, even though the overall market is down. So a lot of the things in crypto are down, but on the other hand, there are things happening behind the scene, right? Is that Canada will launch the first Solana spot ETF along in partnership with TD Bank, and they're gonna allow people to stake their Solana for 3, 4, 5% returns, rewarding investors, and they're gonna boost security. 4 major firms, worldwide firms, have received Canada's approval, and they're gonna offer direct Solana holdings as well. Sol holdings, I'm sorry. Solana surged 25% due to the heightened interest and social media buzz and the record blockchain use. 355 million weekly transactions they've hit. So there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. ETFs getting approved. Companies, this is all part of the accumulation phase. Only 3,000, look at this, 3,000. Maybe there are 3,000 people in there. I don't know, Nate. There could be 3,000. Last time I checked, there were 2,000. So could be 3 in there. I don't know. I'd have to I checked like 3 months ago. So I have to check again. It could be 3,000 in there. I knew it was like 2,300. 100 in there, but when last time I checked. Somebody said, could you post a link to join the CNC, please? Could you post that in there? But like I said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Also, please like the video. I'd really appreciate that. It's like I got 9 likes in here. I know that can't be right. That cannot be right. 9 likes, it's 223 likes, but we got 1,000 people in here. So there's like 800 likes missing. So please, if you're not going to join the CNC, you're not going to do a super chat, please, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like. That's 3,000 plus. Oh, I guess I got 3,000 people in the CNC. That's pretty good. I thought it was 2,000. So that's 3,000 in the CNC. Like I said, 3,000 people, roughly 10,000 people have been in and out of there over the last 5 years. And we got 5 negative reviews. Okay, yeah. So let's move on. So I want to go on to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about energy stocks because I strongly believe, and I talked about this, I was in Jacksonville at Think Bold. What was that? Man, everything blurs together because I got to go to LA tomorrow. Who's in LA? Who's in LA? If you're in LA, I'll be in LA on Thursday speaking for Worldcoin, Sam Altman's project. So if you're in LA, anybody in LA? Let me see. Get my phone. Let me see. Where's this thing at? I'll put it in the chat now. So I'm in LA. So if you're in LA, you can stop by and see. It's a free event. I didn't know about it till Monday. They asked me Monday if I could fly in to speak for Worldcoin at an event. So I do believe in Worldcoin. I like it a lot, but I don't like it based on the potential for it to go up. So I don't talk about it much on this channel, but I do believe in its purpose. I just don't believe there's a lot of investment value in it right now. So that's why I don't talk about it. But I believe in its purpose, like IOTA. I believe in IOTA, but I don't believe there's a lot of investment potential in it right now. That's why I don't talk about it. Give me a second. Let me figure out where, let me see, Telegram. So let me give you this link. Here we go. We'll put it in the chat here. No, that's not right. I'm going to have to put it somewhere else. Put it in Keep. Give me a second. Yeah, if you're in LA, you can stop by. So what the Worldcoin project is that I appreciate the super chat, Eric. Thank you so much. So he says, Eric, if you had 3,000 invest in crypto that hasn't popped yet, but you could bull run, what would you pick right now? It depends on what your risk is, right? Is that, like if you don't want to be risky, I would get Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and probably Solana. And Chainlink is one that I would probably get. I would Fetch is one that I really think is going to do well in this bull run. And also, Fetch.ai, which is now ASI, is pretty low right now. So that's another good one I would invest in. But yeah, so here's that LA event. So if you sign up for that, you can come to the Worldcoin event if you're in LA or close to it. I'll be there. It's Thursday, 6 o'clock. If you're there, who's in LA? Is anybody here watching in LA? All right, Mike Goward, you can come to the event. So I want to talk a little bit about, on this channel we talk about crypto, we talk about tech stocks. Now I don't talk about Coca-Cola, Walmart, unless it's in relation to the overall market. But so I want to talk about some tech stocks that I think are going to do well. Energy. Now, traditionally, energy was like Exxon and, stuff. That's not really tech. That's more like, I guess, like, I don't know, physical companies or energy. But the new type of energy will be tech-driven. And what I mean by that, it'd be fusion or fission. Those are the two things we're going to use going forward, or hydrogen. Now, these are still in the tech realm because you have to use large amounts of tech in order to control these technologies. Like, for example, OKLO is a company I really believe in. I think it's going to go to 100 here soon. Right now, it's at like $23, $24. So I think it's going to go to 100 here soon, especially into next year, because that's when they're going to do their first reactor, I believe, in Oklahoma. I forgot the country. Let me see. Yeah, it's somewhere in the upper Oklahoma or something. One of those countries. One of those, states. But yeah, so energy stocks are a big opportunity because, for example, with OKLO, when you build a nuclear reactor with OKLO, they use fission in order to generate electricity. They have a ball of uranium. It's about 30 pounds, so it's a ball like this big, right? And that ball of uranium will produce energy for 20 years without ever having to be refueled. It creates heat from the fission. The heat is then passed onto water. The water is boiled, and the boiled steam water turns turbines and creates electricity. Now, the problem with a fission is that if it gets too hot, is too much fission starts to happen. It gets too hot, and what happens is that there's a nuclear meltdown. It gets so hot that it burns down everything. Then uranium gets sent everywhere. Now, that was the biggest problem with nuclear reactors in the 70s, 80s, or whatever. But now we fixed that with technology. We can monitor the fission a lot at a lower level using, we understand quantum mechanics more. We have the technology, the materials, and also the computation technology to be able to predict how this is going to react, what's going to work, how to best optimize the fission. So we can prevent nuclear meltdowns now. But that's made all possible from technology. Now, we always knew that uranium was hot, but we didn't know how to control it or make the fission happen as we see fit to make it hotter and make it get colder, depending on how much energy we need. We can do that now with technology. So energy companies have now become tech companies. So one of the biggest opportunities out there is that we talked about before is something called the Kardashev scale. Kardashev was a scientist who he studied civilizations, and he ranked civilizations based on how much energy they use. And this is talking about not only the human civilization. He's talking about civilizations all over the galaxy, if they exist. And he had 3 types of planetary civilizations, and how he ranked them based on how much energy they use. Now, the first type was that a civilization reached the first type when they were able to access all the energy available on the surface of their planet. That's geothermal, that's fusion, fission, that's solar. That's anything coming out of the earth. They're even able to control the weather, fossil fuels, all of that. So if you're able to control 100% of the energy on your earth, then you're in the type 1 civilization. Now, we're humans are about 70% done with that. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I want you to understand that there will never be a time when we have enough energy because the energy needs will always expand over time. So we're 70% of the way there. Now, scale 2, type 2, is a stellar civilization. And that means that a civilization can access or capture the entire energy of their star, which is the sun. So we'll be able to build a Dyson sphere around the sun, which is, think about this as a sphere around the sun that has solar panels, not outwards, but inwards. And all these solar panels create a sphere outside the sun, and all the energy of the sun hits those solar panels. The energy is beamed back to Earth. Now, that's an incredible amount of energy. It's an incredible amount of energy. So the third type is what's called a galactic civilization. That means that we're able to put these Dyson spheres around every star in our galaxy. And they all get beamed back to Earth. Now, compared to the type of energy that we use now, that's a ridiculous amount of energy. But I want you to understand this, because if you understand this, you know that our energy concerns and our energy needs will never stop. So when we see these things start to happen, fusion, fission, well, we don't need that much energy. Yeah, we do. Because we constantly, AI uses a ridiculous amount of energy. Blockchain uses a lot. Electric vehicles use a lot. We're going to constantly need new energy sources in order to move forward as a technological civilization. And these companies like OKLO, these companies like, it's a company called APD, Air Products and Chemicals, which I am looking at closely. Hydrogen production company, they invested $4.5 billion in Louisiana to build the world's largest blue hydrogen facility, which is one of the most efficient types of hydrogen in the world. They spent another $4 billion to make another plant in Texas. And they plan to start operations 2027. So right now, ADP is, let me see where it's at. APD. APD right now is at 265. I can clearly see in the next 12 months it getting to 350, 390, based on these innovations and based on these advancements, if they work out, which I believe they will. So that's one stock I'm starting to add to my portfolio. Second, Latoya Jackson, dude, this is amazing. I appreciate you. OKLO is one that I've talked about for a while. When did we start trading OKLO? I think it was like $5, $6. I think we did. Somebody remind me. When did you guys get into OKLO, if you got into it? I haven't drunk any water this whole time. That's crazy. Not even thirsty. I gotta make myself. How long have we been live? What time is it? Well, so anybody getting the OKLO? Nobody, I guess nobody did. So back to what I was saying, $4. We had $4, $6. So now it's at 22. We're up like 400-500%. So OKLO just signed a significant government contract with the Department of Energy and the Department of Defense for advanced nuclear reactor deployment. This is something that's happening under the scenes. It secured a long-term deal. It's going to supply 12 is gigawatts. But remember in Back to the Future, he called it gigawatts. You remember Back into the Future? Now, this is another time I want to tell you how much our energy concerns have grown. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. I got an event in LA the 22nd of May. I'm planning on calling it DeLorean Dreams. And it's going to be a DeLorean outside. And it's going to be retro futurism. That's going to be the theme. And we're going to talk about these types of things in LA in the 22nd. But I do like Back to the Future. But in the Back to the Future, if you remember Back to the Future, one of them they went Back to the Future and he had to find a way to create these this energy. And he went and they said, how much energy does this time machine need to go back to the future? He says, 1.21 gigawatts. He said 1.21 gigawatts, 1.21 gigawatts. Oh, do you know how crazy that is? Because back in those days, we never even, like back in the days, we never talked about gigabytes. We already talked about megabytes, kilobytes. So he didn't even know how to say it. He said gigawatts. It's really gigawatts. They didn't even know how to say it back then because that type of wattage wasn't even talked about back then. But now we're talking about it because our energy concerns have grown so much since then that now gigawatts is something we talk about, like we talk about gigabytes and terabytes all the time. Now, the long-term, OKLO has to supply 12 gigawatts to the U.S. government and to the data centers through 2044. So this is what's happening with what we talked about with the scale of civilizations. It's starting to happen right now. So I think that OKLO has a good chance next 6 months going to 45, over the next 12 months, $100. So, last thing I'm going to talk about is Nvidia, and people are saying it's crashing, but it's not really, but we'll talk about that. So Nvidia right now is down 7%. So Nvidia lost $5.5 billion in their revenue count because the U.S. just banned sales of its H20 A1 chips that they normally sent to China. Now, the thing about these H20 chips is that they were designed because you got to remember, the United States, since the rise of AI, we've started to create limits on our exports of AI chips because AI can be such a powerful tool in global power moves that we've realized that, and we start to, the chips that we make or design internally, we don't want them going out to China because China could build AI military or something like Palantir does to come against us. So we don't export that. So we made limits on what types of chips you can export. So Nvidia did something smart. They said, well, we're going to design a chip specifically to go around that. So they said, what are the specifications we could do? The government gave them a list of specifications, the power, the speed, the energy usage. Okay, we could do that. So they sent it to their genius engineers, and they created a chip specifically to send out to other countries that the U.S. has trade blocks on. Spent a lot of money in research development doing this. And then the United States changed the rules on them. They said, well, the requirements we told you 4 years ago, well, we're not going to do that no more. You can't send that H20 chip out at all because China figured out how to use that H20 chip, and they created DeepSeek, which was more advanced than a lot of the AIs we have in the United States. So now even the H20 chip is dangerous. Now Nvidia, think about Nvidia, that was $5.5 billion in their revenue, which is a lot. And also the sunk cost of research and development. So that hurt Nvidia a little bit, really a great deal, really. So now the U.S. government requires a special license to export chips to China, and they won't give it to Nvidia for whatever reason right now. So Nvidia is hurting a little bit, and people are starting to sell off the stock because they believe they won't be able to recover that lost revenue. Now, Nvidia is smart. They're genius engineers over there. I believe they'll find a way around this too, but it actually presents an opportunity because Nvidia is not going to be held down. They will figure out a way around this like they did with the H20 chip initially. So I think this is an opportunity to why it's going down. Analysts say this is not just a strategic blow, but it's a financial one, blocks Nvidia's path to the Chinese AI market because of an intensifying trade war between the U.S. and China. Nvidia warns that these continued restrictions could stall global AI innovation, and they argue that limiting chip exports actually hurts the U.S. economy by limiting competitiveness and economic growth. So I think this is temporary. Temporary could mean a year, 2 years, 3 months, I don't know. But I still think NVIDIA has the potential to be 10 times where it is today. So with that being said, I'll let you guys ask any questions. And also, please drop a super chat if I've helped you, and also join the CNC. Join the CNC.com. So you love Back to the Future? So, give you guys 2 minutes to ask any questions. I'll let you guys go for the day. Somebody says, is Soundhound a good play? Yeah, it's a good play, but until these trade restrictions, tariffs, and all these things are over with, it's gonna be a turbulent time. Cold wallet suggestions, you got Arculus and you got Trezor. Those are my favorite two. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. When will the LA tickets be up for sale? May 22nd. Sometime next week. You can come to the LA event if you want to. I'll put it back in there. That's actually free. I'm only going to speak for like 10 minutes, though, 15 minutes. But you get. Make sure you put in that Armando sent you in the. They're going to ask who gave you the link. You just put Armando in there. When will the CNC app be ready? Probably sometime next week. We're very close. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate you and have a great rest